It's a lot in there. It's a lot in there. So I'm going to try to stay as true to what I originally started at home. 25 says, for he must reign till what?
He put all enemy under his feet.
Verse 26.
The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death.
Go ahead.
For he hath put all things under his feet. But when he said all things are put under him.
Hold that thought. Let's put that 27. Go to Hebrews 2. I just heard it. Let me show you something. Woo! Y'all might get happy tonight. Hebrews 2. Ooh, this is good stuff. Ooh, how am I going to mix that up? I wish I was at home when I got this. Got it on live camera. Okay, for he must reign till he put all things under his feet. The last enemy shall be destroyed, is death. Verse 27, I'm going back. Y'all go to Hebrews 2. For he has put all things under his feet, but when he says all things are put under him, it is manifest that he accepted which did put all things under him. Boy, this is some good stuff. When all things shall be subdued unto him, then shall the Son himself be subject unto him that put all things under him. That God may be all in all. That's me. I'm just going through it in 28. Let's go to 7. Hebrews 2 and 7.
Thou madest him a little lower than the angels.
Talking about the Son of Man. Verse 6, talking about mankind.
Thou crownest him with glory and honor, and didst set him over the works of thy hand. Thou hast put all things in subjection under his feet. For in that he put all in subjection under him, he left nothing that is not put under him. But now we see not yet all things put under him.
Oh, y'all got that. Did y'all catch that? Okay, we'll read it again. Now I'm going to read it like real slow. Okay? Thou hast put all things, has tense, has put all things in subjection under his feet. His feet. For in that he put all things in subjection under him, God put it under his feet. He left nothing that is put under him. But now we see not yet all things put under him, but we see Jesus, who made a little lower than angels for the suffering of death, crowned with glory and honor. Grace of God, taste death, swear. But we see not yet all things. God's intention was all things to be put underneath Jesus' feet. But we don't yet see all things put under his feet. Why we don't see it underneath his feet yet? Because there's not yet a church mature enough to handle that administration.
Wow. Yes, sir.
Y'all got that? But we see Jesus, who made a little lower than the angels for the suffering of death, crowned with glory and honor, that he, by the grace of God, should taste death for every man, for it became him from whom are all things, by whom are what? All things, in bringing what? Many sons unto glory, to make the captain of their salvation perfect through sufferings. He, Paul, I believe, connected all things to the administration of sonship. Oh, come on now. Y'all walk with me a little bit. For it became him for whom are all things. We're talking about Jesus. Right? By whom are all things? In bringing many sons unto glory. To make the captain of salvation perfect. You get what I'm saying? Jesus has to put all things underneath his feet, because we read over in 1 Corinthians 15 that everything has to be brought unto the Father.
Yeah.
But we don't see yet all things underneath his feet. Because his feet is not his feet. His feet is our feet. You don't believe that? For both he that sanctifies and they who are sanctified are all one. For which he calls, he's not ashamed to call them brethren. So the real deal about the gospel is the good news that we're connected.
Amen.
It's not necessarily of us going, but it's more, the more excellent ministry is what we're becoming.
Yeah.
Amen. Woo! That's a big assignment. That's a big task. That's a big responsibility.
Yes, sir.
That he wanted to entrust the fulfillment of the ages in his feet, which is his body.
Yeah.
Because he said he put all things under him, but yet I don't see all things. Why it was under him, the first part of that was it was under him because he's the head. And it was finished. When he said it is finished, it was under him. Huh? When he descended, he also ascended. And took captivity captive and gave gifts unto men. Am I right or wrong? This is the Jesus. I'm talking about Jesus Christ. But then we say we don't yet see all things under him. But he said, but we see Jesus. So basically what he said, if you look at what Jesus did. Come on. You look at him and how he walked. And then you'll understand the invitation that he wants to bring us into. Now we've been taught just chronologically, hold on for a while. And that when God sees fit and everything is done, it's a wrap. We'll establish the millennium and everything will come back here. No, we won't work that way. Religion has really done work on us. It's the thief. So let me get back to my message. Go to Romans 8, 29 and 20. Romans 8, 29 and 30. So sonship is connected to representation. Remember we said that? We said some of them for indoctrination, and not representation. Oh. Y'all gonna catch that next week. No, y'all gonna catch that tonight. Yeah. You can be a son and not represent your father.
Yes, sir. All right.
For a variety of reasons. And we're going to talk about some of this thought I had. We got to understand that when you got saved on the request of the heavens, on the request of the kingdom of God, you've been seized for a purpose. You haven't been seized to walk aimlessly or selfishly. You've been seized to go into full-blown inheritance, which is Christ formed in you. That is the reason that you've been saved. No other reason than that. He didn't save you to give you nice things. That's a lower form of life. He said the Gentiles had those things. Remember he said the Gentiles seek those things. See, that's why he told them don't take no thought on it. He didn't want them to be distracted. In Matthew 6, he said, don't get caught up and don't get enamored with all that other physical stuff. That's what he was telling them. He said, seek the kingdom. Did Pastor just say we shouldn't have nice houses, nice cars? Ain't what I said. Become a habitation of God first. Just imagine if we really get so caught up in his love and he really possesses us. Can you imagine how many heartaches and pains it has saved you from? You won't have a torment of your soul. I'm not saying you won't be processed. I'm not saying you won't have a tribulation, but you won't have self-inflicted harm because you still got the residual of some old things hanging around. And you're trying to interpret and look through those lenses and try to figure out how did I get myself in this situation. You know how you got yourself in this situation. Romans 8 and 29.
For whom he did foreknow.
For whom he did what? Foreknew or foreknow who he knew beforehand. Right?
He also did predestinate.
Underline that. That's a spooky term. You got two different streams. You got Arminian and then you got Calvinism. Those two was trying to figure out which one is which. Is it elect or is it sovereign? Is God sovereign or is God elect? Does he pick people, certain people? He pick me and let everybody else go to hell? There's a whole bunch of stuff out there. You got free will or you don't have free will. Both of them counts. Those are the main theological streams that everybody's trying to figure out. Do we have a free will? Or do we not have a free will? And the scriptures are redundant on the fact. I'm not even trying to look for my own will. You get what I'm saying? I'm looking for his will. Folks trying to figure out, do I got a free will? What are you going to do with the ones that don't choose it? I ain't got time for all that. So I was thinking about this stuff and ran across this verse and I had to ask the Spirit and do a little study, and since I'm doing some Hebraic studies, it's kind of helped me a whole lot better when I began to look at this thing. So it said, for whom he did foreknow, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be what?
The firstborn among many brethren.
So we were predestined for what? You can't miss this question.
To be the image of his son.
That's the only thing you've been predestined. You can't say, well, you know what, God, folks say, well, you know, every step is ordered of the Lord, and every God has done it. That's the sovereignty of God. I believe God is sovereign and everything. But I believe God allows you to express yourself. I believe God works everything together. I believe you can do some dumb stuff and God can bring some good out of it. I don't believe God pre-appointed for us to get in bad relationships. Can't nobody tell me that God ordained me to get in a bad relationship so he don't get it. No, he don't need to put you in a relationship for 13 years to get you.
Amen.
Come on. That's right.
No, you got there on your own, and because God is sovereign, he can do what he wants with you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Amen.